Windows Server 2008-02 is a server operating system produced by Microsoft. It was released to manufacturing on July 22, 2009 and launched on October 22, 2009. According to the Windows Server team blog, the retail availability was September 14, 2009. It is built on Windows NT 6.1, the same kernel used with the client-oriented Windows 7. It is the first 64-bit-only operating system released from Microsoft. Version enhancements include new functionality for Active Directory, new virtualization and management features, version 7.5 of Microsoft IIS Web Server and support for up to 256 logical processors. There are 7 editions: Foundation, Standard, Enterprise, Datacenter, Web, HPC Server, Itanium and Windows Storage Server 2008-02. History: Microsoft introduced Windows Server 2008-02 at the 2008 Professional Developers Conference as the server variant of Windows 7. On January 7, 2009, a beta release of Windows Server 2008-02 was made available to subscribers of Microsoft's TechNet and MSDN programs, as well as those participating in the Microsoft Connect program for Windows 7. 2 days later, the beta was released to the public via the Microsoft Download Center. On April 30, 2009, the release candidate was made available to subscribers of Microsoft's TechNet and MSDN. On May 5, 2009, the release candidate was made available to the general public via the Microsoft Download Center. According to Windows Server Division weblog, the following are the dates of the year 2009 when Microsoft Windows Server 2008-02 has been made available to various distribution channels. OEMs received Windows Server 2008-02 RTM in English and all language packs on July 29. The remaining languages were available around August 11. ISV and IHV partners have been able to download Windows Server 2008-02 RTM from MSDN starting on August 14. IT professionals with TechNet subscriptions were able to download Windows Server 2008-02 RTM and obtain product keys for in English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish beginning August 14 and all remaining languages beginning August 21. Developers with MSDN subscriptions have been able to download and obtain product keys for Windows Server 2008-02 RTM in English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish starting August 14 and all remaining languages starting August 21. Microsoft Partner Program Gold certified members were able to download Windows Server 2008-02 RTM through the Microsoft Partner Program portal on August 19. Volume license customers with an existing software assurance license were able to download Windows Server 2008-02 RTM on August 19 via the Volume License Service Center. Volume license customers without a software assurance license were able to purchase Windows Server 2008-02 through volume licensing by September 1. Additionally, qualifying students have been able to download Windows Server 2008-02 RTM Standard Edition in 15 languages from DreamSpark. Microsoft has announced that Server 2008-02 will be the last version of Windows supporting the Itanium architecture. New features. A review or guide published by the company describes several areas of improvement in version 02. These include new virtualization capabilities, reduced power consumption, a new set of management tools and new Active Directory capabilities such as a recycle bin for deleted AD objects. IIS 7.5 has been added to this release, which also includes updated FTP server services. Security enhancements include the addition of DNS-SEC support for DNS server service. Since many zones use a different algorithm, including the root zone, this means that in reality Windows still can't serve as a recursive resolver, and encrypted clientless authenticated VPN services through direct access for clients using Windows 7. The DHCP server supports a large number of enhancements such as MAC address-based control filtering, converting active leases into reservations or link layer-based filters, IPv4 address exhaustion at scope level, DHCP name protection for non-Windows machines to prevent name squatting, better performance through aggressive lease database caching, DHCP activity logging, auto-population of certain network interface fields, a wizard for split-scope configuration, DHCP server role migration using WSMT, support for DHCP v6 option 15 and option 32. The DHCP server runs in the context of the network service account, which has fewer privileges to reduce potential damage if compromised. Windows Server 2008-02 supports up to 64 physical processors or up to 256 logical processors per system. When deployed in a file server role, new file classification infrastructure services allow files to be stored on designated servers in the enterprise based on business naming conventions, relevance to business processes and overall corporate policies. Server Core includes a subset of the .NET framework, so that some applications can be used. Performance improvement was a major area of focus for this release. Microsoft has stated that work was done to decrease boot time, improve the efficiency of I/O operations while using less processing power, and generally improve the speed of storage devices, especially ISC. Active Directory has several new features when raising the forest and domain functional levels to Windows Server 2008-02. When raising the domain function level, two added features are authentication mechanism assurance and automatic SPN management. When raising the forest functional level, the Active Directory Recycle Bin feature is available and can be enabled using the Active Directory module for PowerShell. Service Packs. Service Pack 1, on February 9, 2011, Microsoft officially released the final release of Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008-02 Service Pack 1 to OEM partners. Apart from bug fixes, it introduces two new major functions, Remote FX and Dynamic Memory. Remote FX enables the use of graphics hardware in order to include support for 3D graphics in a Hyper-V-based VM. Dynamic memory makes it possible for a VM to only allocate as much physical RAM as is needed temporarily for its execution. On February 16, Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008-02 SP1 became available for MSDN and TechNet subscribers as well as volume license customers. As of February 22, Windows 7 and Windows Server 2008-02 SP1 is generally available for download via the Microsoft Datacenter and available on Windows Update. It has a version number of June 1, 7601.17.514.101.119-1850. System requirements. System requirements for Windows Server 2008-02 are as follows: processor, 1.4 GHz-86-64 or Itanium 2 processor, memory, minimum, 512 MB RAM, recommended, 2 GB RAM, maximum, 8 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM, or 2 TB RAM, display, Super VGA or higher, disk space requirements, minimum, 32 GB or more, minimum 10 GB or more. Computers with more than 16 GB of RAM require more disk space for paging and dump files. Other, DVD drive, keyboard and mouse, Internet access, editions, see also. Comparison of Microsoft Windows versions, history of Microsoft Windows. References. External links, Windows Server 2008-02 on Microsoft TechNet, winsupersite.com, Windows Server 2008-02 preview. Convert Windows Server 2008-02 to Workstation.